Welcome, visionaries. This is your host, the INFJ Visionary. And the topic of today's broadcast is INFJ depth. How about that? But we're not just going to hang out with depth. We'll start there. So we're attracted to meaning. All human beings are meaning-seeking creatures. The thing that distinguishes INFJs in many cases from their fellow human beings is that we kind of have a bunch of inputs coming directly into our mind from the NI matrix, the NA abyss. A lot of different facets and aspects of life and reality, and I think our primary strategy for adapting to reality is to always know what's coming to the best of our ability, and that's especially true of what is going on with people around us. Yeah. And I think this is why sometimes INFJs can attract people that are, especially when you're younger, I think we can attract people that have some mental types of issues. Fortunately, that's not one of my problems. And I don't know. I'm sure you could be an INFJ with mental issues as well. I don't believe the cognitive stack would be the determining factor there. Anyway, the depth is something we're comfortable with. We go very deeply. And another good way to look at this, even with your fellow intuitors, the extroverted intuitors, many of which really like talking to us and hanging out with us. They cast a very broad net. They're looking for intuition in the external, whereas we tend to take external inputs and coalesce them into a single vision, which is one of the reasons why I call myself the INFJ Visionary, and I call all of you visionaries as well. Since you're INFJ, it's our predominant way of dealing with reality, and that is to have a great sense of what's coming. And obviously, the more complex the thing is that you're pondering, the less you're actually going to know how it's going to really go down, I would make an exception to that in the realm of personal relationships, though. I think in most cases there we know exactly how things are going to go down. And of course, hindsight's 20/20. We had a broadcast a while back about self-deception, and this is one of the reasons why keeping your faculties of intuition and being a visionary sharp and focused are almost entirely contingent upon you having some objectivity. And the more invested you are in an outcome, the less objective your knowing will be, and the more, so to speak, you're putting your thumb on the scale. I've been in this position before, where I was trying to make something happen in the world of relationships, and it went nowhere at all. And actually, that ties into another thing I wanted to get into. The nature of these broadcasts is to be bouncing from point to point, so they're really directed mostly at those of us that use the introverted intuition function as our primary way of navigating reality. And so of course that would be our primary way of talking as well. And I've brought up Tom Campbell before. We're going a couple sidebars in, but this is a great point. I just remembered he was talking about AI actually, and he was saying, well, people say, oh, it just predicts the next word, but as humans, that's what we do as well. And I noticed with more extroverted thinking types, especially, a lot of times they like to think out loud. And I don't know if we're as comfortable with that. Like, what I'm doing here with this broadcast is just basically giving you a direct channel into the NI, but I have to sidestep quite a few barriers to do that. The main one of which would be the extroverted feeling component, which is quite concerned with the image that I'm creating in the world, how I'm being perceived, and how it's affecting the group, and all of those sorts of things. And that's one of the reasons why my great epiphany to continue my INFJ channel was really contingent upon me not being camera facing. Now, you could probably find my original channel from 2000, I think 18, 19. I think I got about 12 videos in. I wasn't able to keep it going, but I have a lot to say about being an INFJ, and a lot of times it just comes out as we're talking. But I noticed when I was camera facing that a part of my mind was creating a barrier to communication because it was concerned with how I'm being perceived. Now, I actually do other media and things, and this isn't a problem, but there it's very much a matter of being a professional, and that's a place where we can. That's a bit of a facade, isn't it? It's a controlled. It's a controlled persona that we present to the world, and it's designed to address the spectrum of people that are interested or concerned with whatever profession you're engaged in, right? So getting back to depth, and getting back to the INFJ milieu in the modern world. I took a look, as I like to, prior to the broadcast. I've got a few videos I saw that were coming up at the top of the feed here, and or the search. Only true INFJs know. That's the INFJ Circle. He's got some good content. Why INFJs radiate this strange frequency. I don't really know what's up with that, other than I'm very hesitant personally. In fact, I was just listening to, I get a lot of videos pushed at me, especially on the channel where I post this content about introverted intuition, and I don't like personally, I don't know about you, I don't like when they try and kind of stroke your ego, like, INFJ, you're special, INFJ, you see things others don't, which has kind of been my message in this video to a certain degree, but I like to keep it nuanced and out of the realm of like, isn't that great, aren't you special, because I don't think that's helpful. I really don't. I think that ego is a unavoidable part of being a person. I've been on a lot of different spiritual paths. I've experienced ego death, mostly through the use of certain substances and things. And the ego has a place. Its place is to sort of look out for your psyche and your persona, and to keep you functioning in the world. And when it's in its place, it's valuable. But when it gets out of its place, and we start experiencing problems with pride and thinking we are special, that's a real trap, and it needs to be avoided, and especially so if you have our unique set of gifts, because most people don't have the gifts that we do, and we are different. Are we special? Depends on your perspective, but I don't think it's that valuable to consider yourself as somebody special. In fact, I think more so that we have quite a burden to bear as INFJs. We also have a responsibility to hold up our end of this reality matrix, to do our job. And in many cases, that is seeing what's coming, seeing it with some depth, and trying our best to communicate it to those around us so they can see too. Until they come back, hopefully in a couple days with another broadcast. Hope you got something from this one, and we'll see you then.